Welcome back to this module on developing high-performing team. In this module, we're going to talk about how can you use the SCORE framework, and I'm going to introduce a new framework called the AGREE framework or AGREE model of resolving conflict in helping you to be able to resolve challenges in leading high-performing team. This is a Harvard Business Review case, Harvard case called the 𝐕𝐈𝐃𝐄𝐒 Corporation. And the interesting thing about this case is that it takes a look at the leadership opportunity that present themselves when organizations work cross-functionally. So this is a very interesting case. I would recommend you to look at this case. The full name is called the 𝐕𝐈𝐃𝐄𝐒 Corporation, the Intense Care Product Development Team. As you analyze the case, as you look at the case and discuss analysis, you need to prepare to a very important question. What leadership lessons can learn from this case in leading our own team and in our own organization? And how do we inspire trust? How do we resolve conflict? How do we develop a more collaborative environment within our team to be able to meet the challenges in the VUCA world? This is exactly what the team went through. In the case, the protagonist is the business leader called Valerie Merz. She's new to the organization. She came on board. She faced a lot of conflict, challenges with the different functional leader who she has struggling to be able to influence the various stakeholder. So the question is, she's so frustrated. At one stage, she feels like giving up. So as you go through the case, and based on the SCORE model that I talked about in the earlier module, the SCORE assessment, assess from 1 to 10, how does this team perform? From whether there's a team strategy in place, is there team charter, team values, is there clarity or role responsibility for every member of the product development team? Is there open communication and trust between all team members? Is there rapid response towards meeting the challenges imposed by the market? How well they can respond quickly? And of course, in terms of the team leader, the exemplary leadership behavior of the team leader and also the team member. So as you assess the team based on the SCORE framework, I will also encourage you to think about what you think drives the various team members' attitude, behaviors, action. Why do they do things they do? Why do Valerie behave in that particular behavior? What does Brett O'Brien behave in that manner? And so forth. So various players within the product development team. So ask yourself this question, and I would like you to think about it, and what are the challenges that you feel that you've identified, and how can you address them? So let me pause there, think about it, and read the case, and I will encourage you to resolve it with your team and work as part of the review. You're able to evaluate. But to do that, you need to read the case and, of course, look at the SCORE model earlier. Now, I'd like to share with you the framework that I use we have developed to help organizations to achieve collaboration, especially in intact team. Now, this what I like about the 𝐕𝐈𝐃𝐄𝐒 is a case which clearly articulates the need to achieve collaboration across functional teams. And the challenge is that you have this product team, as I said, coming from different department coming together, working towards a new product development that is going to be launched, and they face threat by competitors. And this is the VUCA world. We talk about uncertainty, where competitors start planning to launch product ahead of your own launch. So how did they respond? So when I was facilitating this program and case, and what I recommend is this AGREE model. It's very simple. It starts with A, stands for acknowledgement. So you need to acknowledge the conflict or the challenge. And here is you have different team member. There are conflict between different players. So all parties must come to the table. So what I look at the case in the 𝐕𝐈𝐃𝐄𝐒, Valerie, Brett, and the Red Jack and the rest have to come together. So you need to acknowledge there is a conflict. Number two, you need to set G stands for AGREE, so the AGREE model. So G stands for ground rule. there must be clearly defined ground rule for the team. So we need to understand, look, always one of the ground rules is focus on the issue, not the person. Because Valerie, the protagonist in the case, take it personal. She believed that because she's new to the organization, people do not accept her, do not respect her, she take it personal. So always they need to set some ground rules, the team charter. As I said, what are the issues and how are you going to resolve it? What are some of the challenges they face? Then you need to reframe. The AGR is the reframe. Reframe the conflict from an individual position to a more neutral, mutually acceptable statement of the issue. And the challenge is that how do we work together to ensure the product launch is delivered effectively to bring about the desired results for the organization? The reality remains, they are contentious conflict. People are not able to work because they focus on power, their ego is stake, and they're not able to effectively prepare a successful launch, and the competitors is encroaching to the market space. And potentially they could, competitors based on the market intelligence, could be launching the product earlier. So this is a very interesting case. Then the first E in agree is exploring for options. So this is where you diverge. You need to sit down. You need to explore what are the options. The fact remains the product development team is behind schedule. They're not able to get the support from the outsourcing partner in India, the software. They're not able to launch. The marketing team is not able to plan ahead in anticipating of the launch by the competitor. So question is this: how do you get your team as a team leader? Get them together, brainstorm and explore for a variety of options to resolve that conflict or the challenge, so to speak. And the last E in the agree model, last is evaluate the options. Evaluate and converge towards finding a solution that after you evaluate, you can use the force field analysis, looking at the restraining forces, the driving forces, which of the best option would allow you to resolve the challenge effectively and bring about the desired result with the constraint of resources that you have on hand, with all the known factor. So let's evaluate and execute. Of course, evaluate and you execute the action plan. So the agree model, the AGREE, the acknowledgement, the ground rule, the reframe, exploring for options and evaluate for option and execute, is a very simple, powerful approach which I adopted in this particular case study to help my grad students and also for people in the masterclass to look at the case objectively and come up with a concrete plan. And as a team leader, as a high-performing team, along with the SCORE model that we talked about in the earlier module and the AGREE model, that allow you to be able to be more effective in delivering the results of what is expected in a high-performing team. And high-performing team is part of the fundamental pillar of success in a high-performance organization, as we talked about earlier in the other modules. With that note, again, that brings me back to the action plan. Get a copy of the case, go to Harvard Business School, get a copy, buy a copy of the case, and work on it. Look at this AGREE model that we talk about and ask yourself, what can you learn from this? With that note, I wish you well. Thank you very much for listening. I look forward to seeing you in our other module. Have a great day. Thank you. Bye.